So as I was saying, the peroxide issue and the aldehyde issue does not seem to be going through a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 detox pathway. You would think it would, because phase 1 is fat-soluble stuff, and we're really dealing with the fat-soluble stuff. But the problem is that most of the fat-soluble toxins are being held in the fat, and the only way to get them out of the fat is to exchange them for healthier fats going in. And so there are ways to do that, but there's so many products on the market that are rancid. And during that little break we had with this, I went next door and received a delivery of some liposomal products which have to be shipped refrigerated, because otherwise they're going to go bad. And that's kind of a warning too when people buy a lot of stuff off the internet. And I had a patient the other day, I recommended a particular product and she didn't get it from me, she got it someplace off the internet. And those things are not cared for in the manner in which, and they could take it and then start consuming it, and in actual fact it's not going to do for them what it should do, because of the fact that the fat aspect of the liposomal aspect of it is oxidized. It's already gone bad. It's already making histamines. As we said, basically, histamine is the first step on the course to rancidification. Well, so anyway, yeah.
I mean, I have a product that I just got. I'm going to have to get it tested. And you can do remote testing as well? They don't have to come to San Diego?
I can, but with a new patient, I like to see them in person for the first visit.
Okay.
And then we can figure out what their needs are after that.
Okay.
But, a lot of times we have patients in every state but 3 and 15 foreign countries. So, at some point they came here, whether it was from South Africa or whether it was Nicaragua or whether or not it was England or wherever it was, they came here once upon a time. Because I deal with a lot of very chronically ill people that have been to, I had one woman come in, she'd been to 50 doctors. She was referred to me by a doctor on the East Coast. And because I don't take the history up front, I basically find out what's wrong, and then I say, this is what I'm finding on you, and then now tell me why you came. She was so excited to not have to repeat for the 51st time her entire history, and she said in the first 10 minutes of my looking at her, I told her what was wrong with her, which took all these other guys some time to come up with. But anyway, no, the whole way of looking at a person in a systematic manner, it's a systems approach.
Right.
Whether it be the brain chemistry, whether it be the detoxification, whether it be the hormones. So I go through, all your hormones begin with cholesterol, and then they go to pregnenolone and progesterone and hydroxypregnenolone, progesterone, and then androstenedione and diol, and then estrogen 1, 2, 3, and DHEA, and testosterone going to estrogen, and so forth. But I have all the nutrient connectors for those, because in more traditional testing of hormones, they say, oh, they test about 4, and then they make a statement about you. The big issue is the breakdown of the estradiol and estrone, the breakdowns of those guys, to ultimately go to phase 2 liver detox. And what the nutrients are, because number one, the best treatment for cancer is prevention, okay? What's happening to us today is we are unable to excrete the toxins that are in our environment, that are in our food, and it used to only be old people that got cancer. Right. And now it's young people that get cancer. The number one killer of children after accident is cancer. Over 50% of the children are chronically ill. And what's happening is our nutrient pool is being sucked dry because of our exposure. There's like 22, 25 things in phase 2 liver detox. There's a very short stack of things in phase 1 detox, except for the fact that if you don't add in a whole bunch of antioxidants in there and you take phase 1 and you clear it up and dump those guys right on phase 2, you'll cause problems because they need lots of oxidants to get into phase 2. And So when you take a look at the number of things and you picture a nice healthy pool, let's say, of all the nutrients so that phase 1 can pull from it, phase 2 can pull from it, phase 3 can pull from it, and then all the nutrients that are required for all the downregulation of gene expression in histamine. There's I have 22 things I think in that nutrient, that one nutrient that support those 7 genes for alcohol dehydrogenase, acetaldehyde, and all those other guys in that pathway, the HNMT and so forth. All of those guys are having 3, 4, 5 different nutrients in each one of those, and your nutrient pool just can't keep up with what's going on today, whether it be Roundup or whether or not it be vaccine issues, or whether or not it be a diesel fuel, and then all your genetic aspect of this is getting drained, so therefore you're ending up with all these gene abnormalities that are not abnormalities from the standpoint of them testing your gene to tell you whether or not you have 2 alleles or 1. It's really the down or up regulation of the gene itself. And that's not being looked at. They're just saying you have this gene, therefore you're going to have that. That's not the case. I had a little patient the other day, a 8-year-old boy, and he's been tested for the last 2 or 3 years for what's wrong with him, and nobody found what was wrong with him. And what's it turned out to be? Mycotoxin. Yeah, mycotoxin. Another fellow went to one of these big clinics that is the Taj Mahal of medicine to find out what was wrong with him. What was the problem? End of the day, they didn't find it. They sent him home, said what he had no problem. It was mycotoxin. Another fellow came in who is trembling like this in his early 30s. His speech is disrupted. He's been scanned and tested and so forth. What do they come up with? Nothing. They said basically you need to talk to a shrink. Mycotoxin.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And we're not equipped to deal either evaluating and because these things are not being taught. There's labs out there doing this research, but the medical schools are falling behind in really looking at what's causing people to be ill. The pharmaceutical companies is controlling that and really guiding it, and their big market right now is, guess what? Vaccines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And they are setting up a whole nother problem in this, because they're again draining the nutrient pool and changing the gene structure of who they're working with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unbelievable information. You guys watch this 10 times over because it's that rich in nutrients for you and your life and your family. Thank you so much, Dr. Toby, for taking us beyond and allowing us to understand just so in depth on how to actually take your energy beyond. And you guys, we'll have links to find Dr. Toby here in San Diego and La Jolla, California. And it's unbelievable information. And you guys, we're only featuring the best in the business, and obviously, hands down, you're exceptional. So thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your energy.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, pleasure. Yeah. All right, and thank you all for going beyond with us.
Thank you.
All right.